We're clocking in at 7:30 a.m. and we're not going to clock out till 11 p.m.
That's how it goes at the podcast factory. The unionization efforts have failed terribly. In fact, it's been worse. We got the union, which was a great victory, but then the union was corrupted. And the union has been stripping away our rights.
And you know what? I think the union was a win. We did get the suicide nets installed finally.
It's like at how factories will have like those, washing areas if something gets in your eye, except those washing areas is just acid. You just pull the chain and acid rains down on you, wipes you out immediately.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Well, hey everyone, this is a very special episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. No introductions needed, because we're going to be doing a year in review. Ah, man, of all the years that have been out there, 2022 was definitely one of them. I think I can say confidently that it was that. Now,
out of all the years since 2020... 2022 did happen, yes.
Why wasn't one done for 2021? Who knows? That's not to be litigated or figured out. Maybe it was. Maybe the episode is gone now. Maybe it never did. Maybe
2021 may not have been a year. We'll never know.
It's an entire gas leak year for all of us. But I just wanted to, as COVID has rotted holes through our brains, or maybe I'm just realizing
our
the
lungs.
Effects of my rampant drug use. I am realizing that I need to chronicle and make notes about what happened in the year of our Lord 2022.
Welcome to the first episode of Psychic Dolphin Chronicle. The Psychic Dolphin Times.
Chronicles of Dolphin, but it's, a Vin
Chronic
Diesel
Dolphins, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dolphin Chronic? Can we release the dolphin strain?
If we did, I have a feeling we would get sued, because that seems like something a niche weed brand in Colorado has already copyrighted to death.
That has too much money and they can make like a fucking patent.
Yeah, like the stepdad is a cop who,
Can the street guys no longer like call it Skywalker OG because somebody has actually fucking copyrighted Skywalker OG?
That's what we really need to find out.
You know what? That's it. Now I'm against AI art. Okay? You know what? You've done it. You've really done it this time.
It's finally happened. We're going to be just kind of running through, in my mind at least, 3 of the larger stories each month, and then just kind of rolling through it. So it'll be January, talk about a couple of the stories, only for a couple of minutes apiece, and then we will end in December, and then we will figure out what's happening, in our month, in our time. The year of our Lord, as we are recording this.
Don't worry, y'all. We're going to give each story the attention that it needs, okay? On this episode, with 36 stories. That's 5 minutes each. That's almost 150 minutes of listening pleasure for you.
Yes, and this is definitely the only episode we are planning on recording today.
Today.
So we,
hey, look, if we sound sane in this one, wait till the next release, okay? When's that happening? Like Friday, and then a Monday release, and then a Friday release after that? Who fucking knows? And then do we even sound sane in the Call of Cthulhu one, or we were losing our minds being eaten by the fucking face eaters?
Were we? Tune into the Patreon to find out. Real cock tease of a twist there. So let's get started with January.
Yes, the months in order, unless I could roll a d12 and just pick a month at random.
Dear God.
It's D&D the news for you.
Oh, fuck. You know what? Go for it. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Sometimes a curveball comes along that's just too tasty and tempting for us to figure out. That truly our way of doing a year in review is just fucking going out of order. Oh, perfect. This is
all
great.
Right, we rolled a 4. April it is.
Well, in the month of April, Amazon workers at JFK 8 in Staten Island voted to form the Amazon Labor Union, making them the first workers to unionize. That was a pretty fantastic step in the right direction of things that kind of got kicked off. So weirdly, like a great story to get us started off on, Zach. Thank you for that. Also, we had the first black woman was confirmed as a Supreme Court justice, 53-47, proving that hashtag not all white senators are racist. That was the full hashtag, actually. Fortunately, it got co-opted into being like NFT art scams that happened, and it wasn't a great thing.
April was at least almost good things were happening.
Well, almost, but then April was also the month where Elon Musk submitted the initial idea of wanting to buy Twitter for $44 billion because haha, 69,420, you see.
A bad thing. I see.
That definitely didn't happen, right? That's how far in advance this recording is. We are predicting that Elon Musk's deal will have fallen apart completely.
Completely. I mean, he's going to do his due diligence against Twitter and realize, that it doesn't make any money, right?
I mean, he's going to read his contract at the very least. He's a genius. He wouldn't sign something that would give him no way out. And definitely wouldn't put up a poll saying whether or not he should stay as the CEO, then lose the poll, and then not tweet for like 16 hours. Might as well have a giant neon sign saying, "I'm not mad."
That poll would definitely not be lost 57-42%.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to say 53-47. That was going to be like the same vote as Supreme Court nominations. It all comes together. The numbers you see, the numbers.
That's true. Yeah, no, Amazon workers, the successful unionization was awesome. It doesn't sound like they've had as much like pushback as Starbucks has had.
Crazy, almost like, they caught people off guard at the very beginning, It was sure, there's no way they're going to unionize, and then holy shit, they unionized.
They only need a majority.
And interesting. Have conversations with your coworkers is all I'm going to say to everyone all around us. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. What's the next month that we got?
Also, who knew that Chris Smalls would look so fucking cool?
Oh, yeah. Mark's failed to account for how fucking dripped out Chris would be.
What's that? Chris Smalls is better than Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Wow. Oh. Wow. All right. Let's start the debate now.
Who's more important, the workers or women?
Oh, true. Anyway, sorry.
We rolled a 5, so we'll go with May next.
All right. Well, fuck the cold months, I suppose.
We're about to, after this week, really fuck the cold month.
The COVID-19 pandemic in the United States, our death toll passed 1 million in May. Our million-person march
best
towards
in the world.
denying what happened. It was wonderful. Just really kind of highlighted the fact that things were still raging on and we really didn't do anything about it. We just kind of stopped reporting on the numbers. Therefore, it went away. It was the logic behind it, right?
Yes, definitely. I think it just cut myself. I'm very sad.
I get sad by this news too, but that's not the healthy outlet that you should be exploring. So,
we've moved from wow, we have to track everything to show how bad Trump is to quick, Biden's in office.
Yeah, look how
good it is. And he's not doing anything either. Oh, shit.
Who could have possibly known that then the media would tell a different narrative that would already exist? Crazy.
Yeah, like the media that on the day of the was it God, I always forget. Is it Bolivia that fucking Juan Guaido announced that he was president, and then every single news organization was like, well, he's president now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fucking soft CIA that they are.
The fourth estate, some people might call them. But who knows? I want to talk about another story, though, that existed. Much less fun, unfortunately. And it was when 19 children and 2 adults were killed at the Uvalde shooting at Robb Elementary School. Because that kind of brought to further light, the gun issue that exists, or rather gun violence issue that exists. in this country, because it is weird that it just keeps on happening here over and over again. And it was also very bizarre to see the police reaction about what happened with that and the fallout therein.
I don't know. Instead of going and like having a 1,000,000-man march on the police station and denouncing all of those officers as cowards and filthy pigs, they kind of were like, "Oh no, back to blue, I guess. Maybe if they had more money."
Yeah, that was their response. Like, sure, half of our city budget goes to the police, but if they get like 5% more money, then maybe only like 17 kids will die instead.
They had a truck that they could have just driven through the school building, just like bulldozed through the building to get into that room, and they didn't. What is a 14-year-old child? Was he 14 or was he like...
I think he was 18.
He was 18? Okay. He was at the elementary school too. God fuck me. Wasn't an 18-year-old gonna think when a fucking tank blasts through a wall? Like...
I have no idea. I really don't know. I mean...
I don't know, man. It's Call of Duty rules at that point. Like, as long as you go in loud enough, then he's gonna shoot at you, right? And he's not gonna shoot hostages?
Or at the very least, now knowing what we know, like, the over-under is now 19, rather.
Yeah,
right?
Like, as long as you do better than 19, then you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would ideally like the number to be 0, but yeah.
I would like
it's hard to fuck up so badly that 19 people die. Let alone 19 kids and 2 adults. So 21
I don't even think
individuals
19 people die because of OSHA safety violations every year.
You know, I don't know. Also, like, I don't know. There's a lot of people working in Tesla factories. So.
No. That's different. Okay?
Good times in the U.S. in May. What's the next month that we're going to explore in hell?
12 December.
Oh, cool. Wow. Well, what's going on in our world right now? Well, the Starbucks unions just kind of wrapped up the 3-day strike. So hopefully no one ended up going to Starbucks then. I don't really go to Starbucks much anyway, so it was very easy for me to be a performative ally,
True.
aka the only kind of ally that you see online for the most part.
The friend of the podcast, Quinn, the Texas organizer who was organizing the first Texas Starbucks to unionize, tweeted out about how apparently all the scabs that worked in Starbucks this weekend served undercooked food, very well documentedly did not handle product safely, unwashed, likely sneezed in hands, and ran the stores very poorly.
Oh, so they got what they deserved, basically. All the people.
Yes. Well, I mean, I hate to say that, like, the winter COVID spike might have anything to do with this, but...
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was about to say, don't talk about, like, how some families just don't have any other options. They have to go to the Starbucks for coffee.
Come on.
That's what an AA meeting is for.
I French press my own coffee at home, just because sometimes the Starbucks is the cheapest coffee.
You can literally go into a grocery store, though, and buy iced coffee or iced milk coffee or whatever the fuck. Like,
you go anywhere and get coffee. You can get, Chick-fil-A coffee is about as chaotic evil as Starbucks coffee at this point,
I was about to say, let's not trade one thing for another.
McDonald's coffee, okay? Thank you. McDonald's is paying its workers like $15 an hour minimum now. So.
Yes, good guy McDonald's.
Good guy McDonald's. Hey, look, McDonald's looks real good when the other companies are like, FTX, we lost $8 trillion somehow.
We didn't lose it. We embezzled it, and then we lost that. So it was just like a double fuck up. Like, they're like, we replaced all of your real money with fake money. And then what happened to the real money? Well, I spent that. Well, what happened to the fake money? Well, that actually got, redistributed back into the system and became like a structural, like, ground level foundation for the entire cryptocurrency market. And then what happened? Well, that disappeared because that was fake to begin with.
Again, look. We can debate crypto in the Discord. What's our next month?
You're forgetting, Zach. We have to mention what's happening because we're recording this in December, and this isn't going to be coming out until, late December. And we are staring down the barrel of a massive winter storm. So we might be dead by the time this recording comes out. We might have frozen to death.
It's our new yearly winter storm where a cold front from fucking Siberia slips through all the jet streams because they're weakening because of climate change, of course, and is going to absolutely obliterate the entire southern United States and end up causing a massive blizzard from like Ohio to New York.
I really love the reactions, by the way, I see of, with this global warming, I guess it's not real. And it's like, you motherfucker. It absolutely, what do you think is happening? Again, you already described why it's getting colder, Zach, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But imagine the vegetation here that is not used to the idea of prolonged 11 or 12 degree weather.
Yeah, my grass is going to fucking die. Hopefully. Yeah. Please. Then I can just put in some fucking local Texas long ass bullshit and I'll fucking worry
that will also die.
What do you think happens to all the cold air? Like, all the cold air has to mix with all the really hot air and we lose it. Like, what works about the poles is that the cold air stays there a lot of the time and insulates it so that the air currents can circulate a little bit of it at a time to maintain the balance.
I thought you were about to start hugging like Herschel Walker for a second. Be like, and then the good air mixes with the bad air and the bad air leaves. Anyway, sorry. Okay, next month.
Atmospheric, whatever. I'm a climatologist now. July.
By the way, calling it now, I think Herschel Walker's going to run in Texas at some point.
Oh, fuck my life.
Once, Cruz or whoever, steps away to try and become governor. I think Walker's going to use his main home for that. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry. July. Derek Chauvin is sentenced to 21 years in federal prison over the murder of George Floyd, which good, uplifting news. Abolish prisons, but I'll fudge the numbers on some.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
if we lose him in there somehow for some reason, we just shut it down. He's still accidentally locked in there.
Man, it's okay. At least he has air conditioning, right? No? Damn. Well. All I'm going to say is, what if we checked on him one time less than prison guards normally check on inmates? Huh? 1 minus 0 is 0. Or I'm sorry.
0 minus 1.
1 minus 1 is 0. There we go. Math is fucking hard here. Numbers are not great.
Numbers.
Speaking of, in the 2022 NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Boston Celtics in 6 games.
That's June, sorry. Hang on.
Oh, what? Oh, God. Sorry. July. That's right.
Yes, July.
This is so embarrassing. I really am taking this to heart. I'm gonna spiral out, Zach. Oh, but thankfully the National Suicide Hotline adopted a new 3-digit code of 988, which is really great because 9 Hail Hitler. It was their code to try and make sure that no one did anything. Right?
There's 9 words. He did 9.
A white supremacy hotline would be very funny. It'd be like, you have so much to live for, so many minorities to oppress. You can't give up now. How are we going to create?
Think of your white privilege.
How will we create a better future for our children without you in it?
God, please. No more breeders.
Also, we had Vince McMahon announcing he's stepping down as the head of WWE. And then a couple days later, we found out, there was hush money because of sexual harassment allegations. And
so the same thing as every other billionaire CEO, that's just what they do.
Well, it goes into my theory that actors aren't really actors. But it's like, this actor, he can really play such a villain and a scumbag. I don't know.
Maybe he was a villain and a scumbag.
Yeah, maybe we should look into that, huh? Maybe it's a guy who can connect with that level of darkness. Maybe there's something in the books there getting cooked up. But that was July.
Look, just have a harem of people that want you to have a harem and want to have sex with you.
Yeah, but that implies it's more about consent when it's actually about power. But,
God,
neither here nor there.
Okay, well,
of course he could have someone say yes to him, but it's the idea of someone saying no that then he's dominating. That's his
There's also
how it works.
There's also a tab for that on Pornhub. Anyways, January.
Okay. Apple became
so long ago.
Yeah, we in the simple before time, Apple was it became a publicly traded company to exceed $3 trillion of market value. So
that means that they're officially larger than the East India Trading Company?
No, because I think East India was like 18 trillion, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, East India Trading Company. Yeah, I mean, we think about like the
7.9.
Yeah. So 3 times the size of Apple.
Not bad.
AKA Apple, like, I don't know, a decade from now. Once Apple buys HBO and then also Disney and then also Netflix.
Do they buy Disney or do they just Tim Cook and Bob
Iger?
Bob Iger, thank you. They fight to the death, but then they end up loving each other, and so they just simply merge it and become a big family.
Bob Iger is yearning for death, for the sweet, sweet release of not being called back to Disney. So I think it's more like Tim Cook stopping Bob Iger. Tim Cook is telling Bob Iger about the suicide hotline number.
If you cut you cut me, Bob. We could be so happy, Bob.
Also, Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes was found guilty of defrauding investors. So
this was simply the lawsuit that happened, the ruling that happened, like, because Theranos was like exposed in like 2019. I feel like.
Yeah, but this is like, but now you're gonna get some punishment, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, lady? You're gonna get some punishment and a Hulu TV show about you, huh?
Defunct in 2018, I'm sorry.
Of course.
It's funny, it's like, the Forbes 400, like, was like, Theranos, and then this collapses, and then as soon as she's, like, called guilty, they're like, FTX collapses immediately. So,
at least Time has the excuse to talk about, like, their person of the year isn't necessarily good or bad, but rather like who is the most indicative of that year.
Yeah.
Forbes and Fortune magazine don't have anything to fall back on.
We just love them so much. Oh my God. Please
They're young.
Your
They're young. Maybe other young people will buy our magazine. You know, magazines, the industry that all the young people are still using.
It makes me feel good to see what 26-year-olds with rich parents accomplished. Yes.
It's wild. Texan Elizabeth Holmes. So critical support, I suppose.
Fuck me. Okay.
Again, when she gets out and has her, like, you know, late 30s, early 40s PTA mom arc, that's going to be pretty wild, I think.
Mm-hmm.
See what ends up happening. Next, what do we got?
Our May was when we passed 1 million deaths, but January was when we exceeded 1 million concurrent infections.
Yeah, woo.
So thanks, COVID-19. Our next month is October.
Okay, let's see what happened then. Oh, that was when the president of Los Angeles City Council resigned because
she got zoomed.
Yes,
saying really racist shit.
Yeah.
God, that was so good. Fucking receipts.
Yeah. Another thing that happened was that Meta had an earnings report, and then they lost 23% of its market value the following day. So then Zuckerberg announced layoffs of 11,000 employees, which is, you know, wild. 13% of its entire workforce.
You know, it doesn't pay to be racist, and it doesn't pay to invest in VR, I gotta say.
Why on, like, again, Facebook had it, and then they just fumbled it so hard. Why on earth is Zuckerberg doing this and not trying to, like, buy TikTok?
He wanted to push VR. He thought that he was going to get the VR push finally. But you can't...
But Zuckerberg has never been that guy. Like, he's always been the guy to find the company that did it correctly and then buy that company.
Instagram.
Like Instagram. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So why is
he needs to buy TikTok and just turn Facebook into another meta product.
Not you know, Instagram Reels or whatever. God.
Everyone is doing video endless scroll content now. He is following it up, and Facebook is the platform after Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, also it is funny how Facebook is kind of having a comeback of sorts. I mean, they never really left, but it's very funny to see. Biggest story though from October, Texas news. A story of a Texan rather. Alex Jones is ordered by a jury in Connecticut to pay $965 million to the families of the Sandy Hook Elementary School, shooting. So, yeah, let's go. It's the largest payout that has ever been incurred by a civil defendant in the history of the state.
He's made a shitload of money off of that, and he should pay every cent of it. He should pay that. He should pay every cent, no matter who it belongs to, no matter where it comes from. If a dollar passed in his hand and it went to his family, we should drain them next.
I mean, I actually would add a stipulation that it needs to be money from his supplements. You know, the ones that are poisoning people. Because if we can, like, poison the people who listen to InfoWars and also give money back to the families of the victims, 2 birds, 1 stone. Really, really works. Like, I want justice, but if only there was a way to give conspiracy theorists lead poisoning.
Look, take all his money out of it, and the only thing he'll be able to buy is fucking shitty products to put in there.
Buy lead, and by that I mean 1 bullet. Dial 988, Alex. Do it, you son of a bitch.
Hell yeah. Next month is November.
All right. The Houston Astros won the World Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. That's like Texas
Northerners.
News. Yeah, I mean,
fuck you, Yankees.
Well, I mean, it's also like the Astros are cheaters. They're awful. They suck so bad. Also, all of their management keeps on getting hired out by the other teams. Yeah, they suck so bad. Yeah.
Hey, look, when your baseball team is mostly made of people from Central and South America, I think we're the least problematic baseball team in baseball.
Yeah, the woke inclusionary aspects of the
look,
MLB farm system.
Who should win? Who should win the World Series? Some white dude from Philly or a hardworking immigrant?
Of course, Philadelphia Phillies famously had not a single player from Central or Latin America.
Not a single one. Look,
it was all white guys from Philly.
All white guys from Philly. They got off the street. They all sound like fucking JJ. Like, I'm walking here.
Famous Philadelphia line. I'm walking here. Indeed. Alex
Jones news. Yes.
Yeah.
Ordered not on top of the $965 million, ordered to pay an additional $473 million to the families as well by a second jury.
Oh, hell yeah. You love seeing someone who has to pay that much money.
1.3 something billion.
No, 1.4. It's over 1.4.
It is over 1.4. You're right. 1.4 and some change $billion.
We'll just round it 1.5. I really hope there's a way to fine with interest. Like,
oh god.
Again, I know that's not good because that would fuck over so many poor and impoverished people. But in this particular case,
after a certain point, they should just decide a monthly amount that he has to pay every month for the rest of his life.
An amount or percentage of his total body that he has to donate.
Yeah, 80% of your total income.
They pick which percentage too, and that gets real dicey.
They have to know every company. They have to know everywhere that you could possibly be making money from. Anything that you've been involved with in the past that you could still be involved with. Yeah. Your previous companies that you worked for, they have to pay too. Anywhere that you were employed in your entire employment history could be liable.
There is one conspiracy theory I really do like, which kind of talks about how like dentists run the world. Because among senators and U.S. House reps, dentists have like the absurdly high proportion of representation among that based on occupation.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it is weird. It's also weird when you consider that Alex Jones's dad was a dentist. So, you know, let's think about that. Let's think about that hard. Move on to the next
teeth
month.
State. August.
Bombshell report talking about Equifax, how they issued wrong credit scores to millions of Americans to the point where interest rates and mortgage loans were altered. So that was like that big settlement thing that they were trying to get ahead of a while ago and saying like, oh, would you like some free money? Maybe see if you qualify. So
there is a large chance that this was some sort of tech error, like a database got fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you all to know that every single large company has this problem. They don't know what data they have, and they don't know where it goes.
What if I were to tell you, though, that maybe we should just abolish credit scores since they didn't exist before Reagan? So,
look, abolish most tech companies, honestly. What do they provide us?
VR experiences, Zach. Come on now.
Look, I'm all for, like, turning all of America into just a giant, like, tech industry. Like, everybody should be coding because it's a way easier job than people still mine, people still, like,
mine crypto, putting on my sunglasses now. Hell
God
yeah.
Damn. Like, yeah, let the robots do all the weird shit and like have everyone write code, but we can't do it if our companies are run by idiots.
Yeah.
And they are, believe me.
I was about to say that feels like a larger ask than fully automated luxury space communism itself.
To not have idiots in charge.
Yeah,
I know.
Let's try. Okay. This is another news again that's weird when we're hopping around, but Alex Jones is in the news again.
In August, what was he doing before being ordered to pay $1 billion?
Admitting it was 100% real so he could try and whittle down the initial lawsuit that he had in, I believe it was in Texas, where then he only got charged $4.1 million in compensatory damages and $45 million in punitive damages. So he basically was trying to whittle down, I think the asking number was like 200 million or something. Mm-hmm. But then he was like, yeah, I got it down to 50. But then he also admitted that he knew that the shootings were real. And then anything he said that was fake was then damning evidence. Like it became an increased penalty in all of his other lawsuits. Mm-hmm. So just truly the smartest mind of our time.
Alpha brain. I don't know if that's Joe Rogan or Alex Jones.
I think it's one and the same. I think it's made in the same methed out warehouse.
Oh,
a giant jar. So good times. Let's see here. The FBI searched Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump was still, August was still summer. He was still at his summer residence, so.
Yeah, the summer estate of what happened when the evil fascist Ron DeSantis fought Trump.
The evil fascist. I'm crying.
It is funny how, like, that's where their beef starts, really. Not with, like, their ideological differences, because I don't think Trump really has an ideology and DeSantis is just evil. But Trump really doesn't like the idea that DeSantis scored an easy W against him, getting those papers.
Yeah, you let the FBI into your state? Like, bro, what? I have to. Are you recommending I do sedition? Well, I did it. No, fair point.
It worked out fine for me, right?
Fair play.
All my followers are just fine.
Fair play. June, Pride Month, 2022.
Yeah, that's right. And guess what?
We're proud of the Golden State Warriors
for winning. That's right. The Rainbow Warriors, huh? When's the NBA going to do that? Have Steph Curry in like an ally style jersey? You could probably make a killing actually doing that.
Hey, look, I'm saying the LA Dodgers are close. They're close to the top of the MLB. The Golden State Warriors, they took home the win against the Boston Celtics. Like, California has its own country.
Because the Celtics have the leprechaun, and then that would be...
Damn.
You could honestly, though, do that, though. Really, that would have been a fun series. They just rainbowed out both of their uniforms.
Yeah, rainbow. Yeah, one of them gets vertical, one of them gets horizontal stripes.
All of these fucking anti-vax players were just revealing all the gay slurs that they called each other that we just didn't know about because we're trying to remain fans and think of them as, inherently good people.
During Pride Month, there are no microphones on the basketball floor. The rest of the year, maybe, but not during Pride Month. That's just...
I legitimately remember when, I think it was Kobe Bryant, when he, called a ref, and he got fined for calling a ref a homophobic slur. And, I was racking my brain wondering, what did he call the ref? Because this was a while ago, and this was still, a conservative upbringing. And then the F word didn't even, cross my mind as, something that you could get fined for calling someone.
It's like saying damn. It's like saying shit. You get fined for saying shit on the floor. It's like, sir, that's a slur.
Oh, so what? He's not allowed to say it? I mean, not if he wants to, maintain the sponsorship deals. Son of a bitch is just to protect the interests of the corporate elite. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're exactly right.
Speaking of protecting the interests of the corporate elite.
Oh, no. Do we have to talk about this, Zach? Oh, no. We were having such a fun riff on gay basketball.
Pride Month was almost fun. There was really, a 1-2 punch for us. The one was, the one that we weren't expecting, which was Roe v. Wade being overturned.
Yes, we weren't expecting it in Texas. If there's
Definitely
one thing we didn't expect, it was that Roe v. Wade would be overturned. The three abortion clinics in our state can no longer operate. Wow.
Three.
Okay.
Yeah, one in Austin, and one in Austin.
Exactly. I was going to say, they're all within 3 miles of each other. They're open 2.5 hours collectively during the week.
Oh, God. And then the one we were expecting, the Republican Party of Texas having its party convention in Houston.
Biggest regret was us not going to that. It was in Houston. I thought, we could have gotten in and gotten media passes, legitimately. And that would have been so fun to just be there while they were then arguing the resolutions. Because if you're going to be going to a political convention, you need to go into the resolutions room and just watch. Because that's where all the crazy comes out. And the crazy was allowed to run rampant at this convention. Because that's where they declared homosexuality and the abnormal lifestyle choice. Happy Pride Month, everyone. They also said that Texas retains the right to secede from the United States. That's the new line, because they all kind of realized that Texas split into 5 states. It would just be 4 Democratic ones and 1 Republican one.
Yeah, the Republican one would be like a spider trying to claw its way around the cities.
Really, yeah, it truly would. It'd be this bizarre central Texas that no one really gives a fuck about.
It'd be Midland, Odessa is what it would be.
Yeah.
And then BP would have to move, BP and NOV would have to move their headquarters out to there.
Yeah, and weirdly, that state would just be named after Rick Perry's ranch. Go ahead and look that up, everyone. So then,
but then they would retain control of the Bezos River.
God damn it, Zach. Again with this shit. Some people in the Discord are mad, oh, why do y'all talk about cryptocurrency? 1, because I'm an idiot, and 2, just because, it's fun. But this is the thing that gets me. Over and over and over again, about what happens. But yeah, the hell state of Texas. Wonderful news, from June. Yay.
Yay! Alright. March.
Woo! Proud Boys leader was indicted on conspiracy charges of obstructing the U.S. Congress on January 6th. So, unfortunately...
Obstructing the U.S. Congress?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a charge that you would be levied if you, illegally, filibustered.
If you pulled the fire alarm during a session, you would get that charge. That was it.
So because
you obstructed it, you didn't prevent it. It wasn't a threat. You were an obstruction to Congress.
Because they went into the Congress room, it was obstruction. There was no sedition charges.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Good times. Justice system works.
Justice system.
again, it's one of those things of where weirdly, like, we're calling for harsher punishments. So I'm not sure what bizarro reality I'm falling into, or maybe I'm just getting embittered with old age. But,
Yep. In Florida, Republicans, repeatedly keep passing new legislation about children.
But this was like the first one of the year. This is the thing that like kicked off a lot of the other stuff that happened, especially during Pride Month and all of that. Is this Parental Rights and Education Act? Remember, like the banned books and all of that sort of.
Yeah, we love banning books. We're the good guys.
Yeah, we're banning books. We're saying colorful people cannot read to your children at libraries.
Mm-hmm. It bans certain discussions about sexual orientation and gender identity in school classrooms from kindergarten to third grade. Certain discussions, of course, being anything beyond the Protestant Christian position that sex is evil.
Also, letting your teachers know if you've been sexually abused by a family member falls under that. Fun fact. So, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Everything is all right because the MLB lockout finally came to an end after a new CBA was agreed to. This delayed the season start, but all games were played this year.
No asterisk. That's the reason I included this story. No fucking asterisk on the Astros W. You can't say, well, it was a shortened season, and so the Astros wouldn't have actually done that, or players weren't as in shape as they would be. No, lockout ended. It just had a delayed spring training and therefore a slightly delayed opening, but they got everything in under the gun. So.
Hey, also, like, if you have a little bit more time to, like, work out in the off season, like, why would you be less fit coming into this?
Yeah, because again, I'm not going to get into talking about baseball athletes versus every other professional athlete, but like, they're right up there with ping pong players.
Oh, God. Yeah, they gotta burst for like 2 seconds at a time.
Yeah, I need to apologize to ping pong players. That was a rude comparison.
February, right before, during the MLB lockout.
Yes. That's what everyone's focusing on as Meta shares fell by 26.4%, losing Facebook $230 billion of market value. Why is that important? It's the biggest one-day loss in the history for a U.S. company.
The fact that it's Facebook and that they can just sustain that, and originally sustaining this before their October layoffs without laying anyone off, is almost insane.
And here's my question: if your company can lose $230 billion in market value, was it actually ever worth that extra $230 billion? Because I'm going to say no.
You know, I can agree with that.
Good. Maybe there's something else that we can both agree on.
Maybe companies are too big. You know?
But some are too big to fail, you see. Yes.
That's true. We can't let them fail. And maybe your condom is too big. Make sure you buy condoms that are the right size and for the right hole.
Oh, are you talking about how the FDA approved the first condom for anal sex?
Yeah, the first one.
I want to meet the guy who was like, finally.
I want to meet the guy who was like, you know what we need? We need one specifically for anal sex.
I'd be like, what? No, they work just fine. Trust me.
Just double wrap it, dude. Just double wrap it.
We absolutely need this right now. We're going to rush it. I have the same team that pushed out the COVID vaccine in record time. Working
pushed
on
out COVID.
This.
Okay, they pushed out COVID.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Of course. I would love the people that are like, yes, what we're trying to do is actually make sure that we can have people go out and
you know what's terrible about the condom that's for anal sex? Because condoms are considered medical type 2 medical devices, condoms were like all the other condoms were just not tested and approved for anal sex.
That's good.
There's someone that's testing condoms now and specifically had to test this one to be approved for anal sex, and that's the only difference.
I want to meet those testers. Be like, now,
yes,
Jerry, you say that you like this condom, but tell me. I'm not even gonna finish.
No. You know what it is? It's the scene from Silicon Valley with the the guy that goes, that does like all the, he like sits in the room with all the people that tested the products and is like, now, Mary, how does this product make you feel?
It was a show that was ahead of its time, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Absolutely. It's one of the best IT shows ever. And we also had one of the best showings ever. The Freedom Convoy 2022 happened in February, baby.
That's right. We showed them, didn't we? All the truck drivers honking horns around the city, just being like kind of a pest, but not really.
It's like a strike. But we're not unionized, so there's nothing we're striking against. We're
a group of people all striking for what we believe is a common purpose and a legislative goal to achieve that. But again, it's not a strike. It's a convoy, you see. If we were unionized, then it would be a strike, but we're not allowed to unionize. And because we're not any lefty, trying to take over this country. Trying to take over Canada. I really do like the Southern Canadian attitude about stuff.
We're trying to take over Canada. Huh. Yeah. Good month. And that leaves us with my favorite month. The best month of the year, obviously, because I was celebrating my birthday, September.
Yes. The just the most wonderful day of September.
Yes, it has the best day of the year in it, my birthday. Immediately following the second best day of the year, 9/11.
Play with your new toys, Zach. The second tower just went down.
No. On 9/12, my birthday, getting my oh wow, Dad, you went to the military surplus store and bought me a Kevlar helmet? Hell yeah, because we're gonna invade those Iraqis. Wow, Dad, and kill 1 million of them?
Exactly. Oh, God, I can't believe what these Saudi pilots did. Time to invade Iraq.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, we're also going to get involved in Afghanistan. What? Dad? Okay, it really feels like we're all over the place. Well, I mean, we can't go after the Saudis. Come on now. What? The people who supported George H.W. Bush's campaign, former director of the CIA, we can't draw any connection between any of that. That would be awful.
Oh, Christ Jesus.
If only then that president would have a son that could run for president and then get his election confirmed by the Supreme Court of a state where his other son was also governor. Oh man, that would be crazy, huh?
There's definitely nothing about politics that just takes one of those metal paintbrush brushes and just digs it into your skin and just scrapes off a couple layers of it every time it and then it says, wow, your hair is so smooth. Rubbing raw meat, raw muscle, and tendons.
Don't scrape too deep, otherwise you'll remember the fact that the Bushes got their inherited generational wealth by holding on to Nazi gold for them. So that way then it couldn't be confiscated.
Wow.
Good time.
Good country.
That's when they weren't trying to also overthrow FDR, but
That's true. The only two good things that actually happened in September in Minnesota, the largest strike of private sector nurses in the history of the country began.
Yeah. Again, no notes, flawless. Love to see a group of workers getting organized for better working conditions for themselves.
15,000 of them on a 3-day strike. So, hell yeah, love to see all the organizing happen this year. The Starbucks union in New York City, one of their Buffalo organizers was fired, and that was the first of what is now over 300, lawsuits filed against Starbucks for union busting.
People are about to make a lot of money in 3 to 5 years if they can maintain lawyers.
Which is literally illegal, but there's no way to stop them from doing it. You know what else is legal? Human trafficking. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, human trafficker.
Yes. I mean, long list of accolades. Governor of Florida, Harvard graduate, congressional baseball enthusiast, if you remember that history, and also human trafficker.
So close.
So it's never the right people.
It never is. Defrauded 50 migrants who he flew from Florida to Massachusetts in a political stunt, dropping them off in Martha's Vineyard, the island community of billionaire CEOs, regular and billionaires.
It legitimately, like, the more time that has gone by past this, the more I feel like he really does not have any political instinct whatsoever. Because, like, true lasting change that would create like a support structure that would welcome these migrants in and get everything up and running for them, that would require higher taxes, and that would like really, really fuck with all of these people in Martha's Vineyard. But saying, hey, what about like you billionaire island people help out 50 migrants in what is like a slam dunk publicity stunt for you? Yeah, they're just going to do that because then they can write that off as charity. Like that it doesn't change their lives whatsoever.
Yeah, at least half the homes there are like summer homes.
Yeah, they're like, sure,
and they're
we'll
fully
help out.
Staffed. Like you can just send some staffers there to like let people like sleep in your summer home for a couple of days.
And then be like, and then we found you a job in Massachusetts. Congratulations. Move on, whatever it was. Yeah. Right? Like, and then he just took such a massive L from it, and then seeing people talking about how, or seeing people on the conservative side rather, talking about how like, oh wow, he really stuck it to them. It's like, how? How did he stick it to them?
Because they don't read past the headlines, Kelton. Facebook has proven that to us over and over again. Facebook has the data that shows that that's what happens.
God damn it. I mean, sharing fake news is the old people version of sharing like funny memes, I guess.
Yeah.
And instead of saying LMAO true, it's just them sharing news they think is true. So,
look,
good time.
We open the Onion article and read it and laugh because it's written well. They share the Onion article because the headline says what they want it to say.
It still bugs me to know that people don't read the Onion article. Like, it has like 15 extra jokes in it. Why would you not? The funny headline is a funny situation. That's the premise of the sketch.
The segue. It's the segue. When Dave Chappelle says, one time I was at a gas station. Do you laugh?
I mean, if I'm a member of his audience, I probably do. I clap like a seal. And then I still boo when Elon comes on stage.
Best thing of the year. Sad that it did not make the review, but, there were other important things that were happening, like the Freedom Convoy.
Yes. Lots and lots of other things to focus on. But
God, what a good year. I'm happy we did it Chaos style.
Yeah, honestly, that really worked out. Can't wait for next year when it just is like, I rolled a 1, I rolled a 2, I rolled a 3. Whoa, how convenient.
I feel like these rolls are a little bit, doctored for the show.
Specially weighted dice just for him.
Kelton's going to be editing this later. He's going to decide he doesn't like it out of order. You're going to edit it to the January, February.
The worst. The people like, why are they doing a throwback to a joke? Whoa. There's gonna be like one person listening who's like, I love this avant-garde style. Such an expression of what it was. But yeah, that's gonna be an episode. We're running a little bit long. Oh no, we had an episode that ran long? Crazy. Yeah, so that's it. Everyone get excited. Listen, in for the Patreon episode coming on Friday. It's going to be talking about Avatar 2, our thoughts on it, good, bad, the ugly, all that fun stuff. Cult of Cameron. We continue to march forward, as we explore Avatar: The Way of Water. Zach, what else is going on in the world?
The Call of Cthulhu campaign is out.
Episode 2 is on the Patreon, so check that out too.
Yep, check that out too. Listen for our State of the Union episode to come out, because we're going to talk about the changes that we're heavily considering, planning, deep throating for the podcast going forward. We're not going to stream anytime soon. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have too many D&D campaigns to play, and
Breaking news, Zach. The Food and Drug Administration has approved the first ever condom for a PDG State of the Union. It's great.
Let's go.
It's wonderful.
We weren't allowed to do it before, but now we are.
All right, next week. Bye.
Bye.